This is my little experiment, which is named as Camouflage. So it is set in an environment where if I have a species of animal or whatever creature you want to assume, and it has a specific color, and it has to adapt itself in a environment, say a forest environment, such that it can camouflage well. So forest environment would consist of two major colors. First one would be green, leaf green, and wooden brown. These would be the two major colors we have. So what I'm using is a genetic algorithm. A genetic algorithm is an algorithm which uses the same principles as Darwin's evolution. What is basically happening is that we have multiple generation and the genes or the chromosomes or the properties of a specific sample or you can say a population get better over time and get better suited for the environment over time. And this is what we are going to do over here. So let's run the code so that we can get an idea of what is happening. So first of all, we import all the libraries which are required. So let's do that. And the first step in any of these algorithms where you have a genetic algorithm in play would be first making a random population. We start with a random point in the search space, and we go to a point which is more optimized according to environment. So this population, in my case, I have taken a population of 400, and I'm showing it in a form of 20 into 20 matrix. Each of the population sample will have three properties that you can say each chromosome, each sample is known as chromosome. So each chromosome is going to have three properties. These three properties are basically, since here we are talking about camouflage, that is basically color. So the three properties are R, G, and B, which is red, green, blue in the color coding, right? So this is what our population is right now. Initially, it is completely random. I have made it random, and that is how it's supposed to be. So we have initial population, and this is my way to show you that how the population looks in the starting. So I'm just printing the image. That is a green background is the one which we want, or you can say a leaf is the background, which is the green background. And the main for 20 into 20 matrix is the showing of randomness, which is in the beginning of the population. Say there is an insect and each of this cell is a specific insect. So which of this insect is gonna be most camouflage? It is gonna be the one which is either green or brown in color. But initially we have all of these random colors available for each of these insects. Say they initially incarnated out of nothing, 400 insects, and now they are gonna evolve over time, over generations, so that they can actually camouflage to save themselves from predators. So this is what the environmental setup is over here. Now the second step would be, obviously this is not nature, so we have to define some type of mathematical function so that we can actually choose who is actually considered better in the environment. Say I was verbally saying that someone who is either greenish in color or brownish in color would be better suited for an environment in a jungle. So this is my hypothetical or theoretical way of speaking that what is a better fitness. But mathematically, we have to define this in a mathematical formulation. So this is done using a fitness score. And this is simply, I have defined it as the squared sum between R, G, and B from brown and from green. And I'm taking the minimum of these. Okay? I'm taking the minimum of these because either a insect is either brown, then also it is safe. Either the insect is green, then also it's safe. So the best way is to take the minimum between of these, right? You can also define this as the squared sum of both of these two. That is also one way, or even some other complex mathematical function can be used. This is kind of an hyperparameter over here, and you can optimize it accordingly to get the most suited results, right? I guess, yeah, we have run it all till now. Now we have a single step evolution algorithm, right? So in a single step of evolution, what is happening is these are the main four steps which are happening at a single step in the evolution. So first of all, we evaluate the fitness of the whole population. We have 400 samples. So we get the fitness of all of these 400 samples. Then once we have that, then we have to select the top whatever amount we want to take. Say if the selection rate is 10%. So out of 400, I'll be taking the top 40 of the candidates only and will be discarding the rest of 360 candidates, right? So this is the selection process. We'll be taking the most fittest of the population. In our case, it would be the minimum values because fitness is defined such that the distance from the higher the fitness, the higher the distance from the color which we are aiming towards. So that is why we want to minimize the fitness. Next is crossover. So crossover is basically the selected population comes together to form more children which are added to the population. This is done by adding some randomness by taking two parents and then mixing them together so that a unique children can be formed. And at last, mutation. So mutation is basically done by taking into consideration a mutation rate, and we do random changes inside the codex such that some randomness is included in a search space, right? So this is what a single step in evolution takes place like, and we are doing multiple of these evolution steps, that is generations, right? So over many generation, we have a generation count of 50. This is again hyperparameter which I am taking. You can take any of the hyperparameter as you want. Selection rate and mutation rate. So what I'm doing again is first of all show you that how the population looks in the beginning. So we'll run this first of all. The population looks in the beginning like this. And once we run this, this is gonna do the evolution step at every point and show you what is happening again for a visual context. So as you can see, even in the first generation, it has gone a far way from where it started from. it is now somewhere in the greenish tone already. It is better at camouflage. Next, it's getting better, getting better. As you progress, you can clearly see the progress happening. You can clearly see that, oh, it's almost completely green. And that is why it would be very good at camouflaging on a leaf, right? So that this is what the reason is. The last time I ran it, it was almost brown. So again, randomness is that is the reason randomness is there, that you can evolve in different steps and get different outcomes. There is no single outcome for this problem, but rather multiple outcomes which can be formed. And that is why every time you run this algorithm, I would highly suggest you to run this code in the Kaggle notebook, and you will also see a different output rather than having the same output, which is the beauty of the algorithm, that it doesn't sticks to a local minima, local maxima. It is exploring a lot. That is because of the you can say mutation or crossover. That is the reason. So yeah, that is all about it. And I'm going to show you a video of the same happening, which I recorded. So here we go. Generation 0 to 5 happening, getting better. This is what I was talking about, that it completely got brown. So this is for the wood case, right? That the population has got better in camouflaging according to the wood in this case. In our case over here, it has got better in camouflaging for the leaves. So it shows both the cases which can be possible. And again, there are multiple cases which can be possible because of infinite, almost infinite search space available. Thank you.